Yeah. Live. Here we go.
Hello.
Hey guys, Donnie T, as in Donnie T and Friends. And I always tell you, the best part of my show is when I have a friend next to me. I got not only a very talented friend, but a good, solid friend. My good buddy, Dave Russo.
How you doing, America? It's Russo. I'm looking right in the camera right there. I'm off road right now. We're in an undisclosed location.
Yes, you are.
And I wanted to find out what number episode we were. Originally, we didn't think. He kept saying number one, but we've done more. So it turns out we thought we were number 10. So I was like, this is a 10.
Yeah.
If you're a 10, like if you score a 10, you're a champion. But we found out it's the 11th episode. So I
A
guess
champion plus.
I'm number one twice. Look, we've been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Donnie T and I, we met through, we just met through the comedy scene, but more of the comic acting type scene. Would you agree?
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. He hung around with project kids, which makes him real close to me because I'm a project kid. And he's got plenty to say. He did.
I was adopted by the project kids.
Yeah.
You know what? I was.
No, you were embraced.
Well, I was embraced, but you know what the weird thing is? Because you asked me that earlier, and I'm sorry if we jump around, but you know, Donnie T and I had like a pre-interview, and we're talking about, because we don't really know each other. We know of each other. We've hung out with each other, respect for each other. We don't really know much. But I learned something for myself. Yeah, if I were to go back to who like my first and earliest friends were, aside from my neighborhood when I was 9 years old, from 9 to 11, I had Ronnie Ross, Jay Simmons, Skunky, Matty Jones, John Havey, rest in peace, and the Russo. But my project buddies were the guys when I played rec hockey, because my parents, we couldn't afford.
Yeah.
You know, rec hockey was $50 for the league. I think if you played on the real team, it was like 500, which sounds like
That was unheard of.
Unheard of. I wasn't that good, and but we had and then when we would go to the roller skating rink, because I'm an Italian guy and my neighbor was predominantly Irish and Jewish Malta, but I was Italian and I loved to dance, so I would be at the roller skating rink dancing, and the roller skating rink happens to be at the projects in Malden.
Yeah.
So Chris Rogers, I know he's out there. He taught me the word "bring it, don't sing it." And I love that statement. That was the first thing I ever learned from the project. Bring it, don't sing it. But in other words, if you want to talk shit, talk as much shit as you want, but you better bring it.
Tall Paul from the projects?
Well, I'll tell you what. You and I think you're a decade older than me. We talked about our age a little bit.
Yeah.
So the guys that I remember from the projects in Malden would be the Rogers family. Yeah, they were the crew.
Yeah.
Bubba Rogers, Chris Rogers. We were the Devastating Rockers in the breakdancing group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love thinking about it. The weird thing is, I apologize. When I hung out at Fairway Green in Malden, which was where the project kids, it was kind of bad news. You didn't want to like during the day you could go there and play, but at night you didn't hang out at Fairway Green. They had this kid, his nickname was Rat, and some people are gonna know exactly who the hell I'm talking about. But they would deal, they dealt drugs and they got in trouble and stuff like that. So I wasn't allowed to go there during the day. But during the day, when we had Pop Warner football, all my buddies, Brian Fitzpatrick, Jamie Fitzpatrick, Matt, all those guys that we won the championship team, my first time ever playing organized sport, were all from the projects. I mean, our team.
Sports was a big part of your life.
Dude, huge part growing up. I mean, I don't know if I'd have any friends if it weren't for sports.
Same here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I remember
I played softball till I was 53.
Jesus, that's how old I am right now, and I gave it up a couple of years ago. But I want to play. I just can't be a pinch runner. Can you steal in softball anymore?
Well, I was always a good thief. So
must be from Revere. I don't want to brag, but I'm a 6-time Boston Comedy co-ed softball champion with 2 separate teams, and I also lost in the finals twice.
Tell them who was on your team.
Which one?
Well, the finals, you said.
Well, Donnie didn't pay attention.
Oh,
Donnie's been hitting. Donnie was a boxer.
I got hit a few times.
I won it with 2 separate teams.
So
the first team were the rookies, but the second team, I think Donnie's talking about who was on the second team. We had a Boston comic legend, Lenny Clark and Mike Clark, Johnny Peasy. Rest in peace, my friend Todd Verdonk, who was the MVP of our last championship team, and unfortunately succumb to the horribleness of the entertainment industry or what have you. But we had Chris Flaheim at third base. Carolyn Plummer was a champion, second base, right field.
Oh, really?
Mike McCarthy, champion. He was like the first guy I ever met in the entertainment industry. We used to break dance together back in the day. Don Zola was on a championship team once, I believe. I'm probably missing a few people. They'll probably be upset with me, but those are the ones that were really good.
How about
What's that?
wrestling?
Wrestling.
I mean, I hate to put you on the
Well,
spot.
no, you know what?
But
So since we're live on this podcast right now, I told Donnie, I go, Donnie, I know you a little bit. You don't know me a little bit. I've been in the entertainment industry since 1997, February 14, 15, 1997 was my first paid spot from the Comedy Palace in Andover. And I got into it because I got a Division I wrestling scholarship to college. And my first class ever was a public speaking class by Dr. Jane Elms Crayhall. And now you're from Malden.
yes, sir.
You ready for this? You ready for this?
Yeah.
The class was public speaking. You know what that means? I didn't need to do fucking homework.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right there.
So they're like, tell us about yourself. So, my first speech ever, I spoke about meeting my high school girl's father. My high school girl's friend's name was Antonetta Marengi. And so I did a 3 to 5 minute speech on the first time I met Vincenzo Marengi, Antonetta Marengi's father, for my first date. And let me tell you something. He was a little Napoleonic syndrome Italian fucker like I was, and I was very respectful. So he had nothing on me. I was like, I had good parents. Yes, sir. No, sir. Like, I wasn't thinking about ravishing her daughters. I mean, he couldn't telepathically feel that in my mind because I'm like, respectful on the pot. Then when you're gone, she tied me up with tube socks, I think, on a prom night. Like, tube socks. It was the 80s. I don't know. But so he's talking about wrestling. So, yes, wrestling changed my life forever. Yeah. Absolutely. And it should be a movie. It should be a Hollywood movie for the little engine that could. I was 4'11", 79 pounds my freshman year in high school. And somehow I was the best dancer in like fucking the East Coast, America, as a breakdancer was concerned. You have to ask Mike McCarthy, but yeah, I was a phenom as a dancer. And so people liked me because breakdancing was popular and I was doing commercials. I was doing all this, this cute little kid who could like windmill and head spin.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was. You guys, it's ridiculous. I see some of the kids right now way better than I was, but that's like
I'm so
45 years later.
I'm so impressed with that kind of dancing.
Well, it was just athleticism. Yeah. It's just athletic and keeping the beat and and hanging out in the projects. It's funny. There should be 2 movies in my life. I was about 50 pounds, and Chris Rogers, who is the guy I mentioned earlier. I always mention him. He told me, "Bring it, don't sing it." Yeah. And that stuck with my entire life. But I walked up to him. He was a tall black dude. He was probably, to me, I was probably like 50. I was 11 years old, 12 or 30. So 19, I was 13 years old. I probably weighed, maybe 70 pounds.
Really?
Maybe. And I walked up to this dude, a little white dude, pulling on his pant leg. Hey, fucking, how the hell did you do that moonwalk? And he taught me how to do the moonwalk. And we've been friends ever since. But to his credit, he's probably, who's this little white dude? Pulling on, you know what I mean? Because this is in the 80s when that,
Yeah.
So I kind of, back in the day, I crossed the race barrier, as they would say. And I love saying that because I say that because kids are innocent, right? Yeah, kids are innocent. They don't know hate. They don't know it. And my dad was a Pop Warner football coach, and my mom was president of women's softball. So when you play sports, you're around people with ethnicities, races, religions, black, white, red, brown, purple, yellow, whatever. That was from the song.
Means absolutely nothing.
The first album I ever bought as a kid was Rapper's Delight. And they had that song, to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, to the purple, and yellow. But you know what I mean? Like, and so growing up, it was like, okay, we're all cool, and we're all not cool.
It's like a jungle sometimes.
We used to blow. I think that's a cocaine song. I think.
Yeah, that was Grandmaster Flash. I had a what do you call it? I had a record shop in Revere. Yeah.
Record, man. All right, so we ADD on this stuff. So when you go record, I have a joke on records. And I've kind of, I like setting records, and I like mixing records. So the joke on records was this. Since we're just having some fun talk. because your generation is different than my generation. So people are saying that was the beep I said I had a punchline for. Remember basically, we're in a studio and there's one of the batteries is missing, and so it beeps. That's also a reminder for Donnie T to take his medication.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
All right.
That's been out for years.
Yeah.
That battery.
He's obviously missing shit.
I can only wait till my son comes and visits. He takes care of that stuff.
So, to any of the people that are out there listening right now, Dave Russo, Boston Comedy Festival inaugural winner, Donnie T, and we're discussing the greater Boston area, neighborhood projects, and the fact that at one point I was this legendary dancer, right? And then when breakdancing ended, right, my coach goes, "So what are you gonna do to be popular?" I didn't understand what he meant.
Yeah.
And like when you're in high school and you're popular one day and not popular the next day, like you're like, what the fuck happened? Like you don't understand the real world.
That's traumatic.
I was just like, what happened? You know what I mean? So, but then somehow, like I said, it should be a Disney movie. I fell into wrestling, and I went from my freshman year in high school, winning Stars of the Show at the junior varieties competition, to 4 years later, so my last year in high school, becoming my high school's first ever state wrestling champion, and getting most valuable wrestler in the state of Massachusetts my senior year in high school, because I beat the kid 13-1 in the finals, and in state finals it's 2-1, 1-0, 3-2, and I fucking respectfully demolished. This guy made me such a better wrestler. I feared him so much that
he made you better.
There's a guy by the name of Wade Shallis. A lot of folks out there will know he was a heavyweight wrestler for Clarion. He was a WWF wrestler. Kurt Angle wrestled for Clarion University. He graduated the same year I did. I wrestled Division I in college. He wrestled Division I in college. Obviously, he's a heavyweight. He's not even the best wrestler to come out of Clarion. This guy, Wade Shallis, was a 1976, I believe, Olympic gold medalist. I believe it was 1976. And he said to me at a camp, I went to a camp, and he said, I would get up every morning at 5 a.m, going, what if the Russian guy is jogging? What if the Russian guy is working out?
Yeah.
So the kid that was my biggest competition was kids from Melrose. I'm from Malden now. Melrose, they had a great wrestling program. Mr. Smith was the head coach wrestling as well, right? So I kept thinking, what's this kid's wrestling before? What's this kid's waking up? So every day I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I worked out. But then I found out later, well, he's from Melrose. They're wealthy. He didn't really work out. He didn't think about me at 5 a.m. So I ended up beating him 13-1. And I say that facetiously and joking. His name is Jim McSweeney. Whenever I talk about wrestling at Malden High School, I said, he's Magic Johnson, I'm Larry Bird.
Well, let me say
does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was the champ. Well, he was the champ the following year, and I just happened to be the champ that year, but he made me great.
Wrestling is wonderful. However, what does Wayne Newton mean to you?
Well, Wayne Newton means, you know, ready for this? So Wayne Newton is Mr. Las Vegas.
Yep.
And all the way back to I Love Lucy, to the song Donkey Shane, who was originally written by the guy who wrote Mac the Knife, who died at like 34 years old, 36 years old. And so Wayne Newton to me is a guy who gave Bobby Darin. Wayne Newton gave me my first big break, and really took a liking to me. You know, I was performing in Las Vegas of October 2004, the week the Red Sox won the World Series. Yeah. And Wayne's people saw me perform, and that was one of the times I was naturally high on life. And it was the first time the Red Sox won the World Series since 1986. I mean, since for 86 years. So here I am performing in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I'm
on the Strip, and now I'm getting a call back for a TV show, Mr. Las Vegas, and we're doing improv. And I was out of about 5,000 people auditioned for a TV show called Entertainer. I was one of the 10 people chosen to compete for $1 million. He chose me out of 1,000 people. I ended up being runner-up for $1 million contract. That TV show is now called America's Got Talent. I was on the pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on the. Not a lot of people know that. I was on the pilot episode of 2004, aired January 20, 2005, and it went one season, went well, and then NBC, I believe, was coming out with America's Got Talent, which was the same concept.
Yeah.
You know what entertainers have to do to earn $1 million contract in Las Vegas. and the NBC versus the E network, NBC won.
Yeah.
We got squeezed out, and there were decisions that it was a different world back then. It was a reality thing. We were at the beginning of a reality show. It was a reality show called The Entertainer. If you go on daverusso.net, you can see all the episodes. So basically, early on in the reality TV show, what they do is they lock you up in a house for 30 minutes. For 30 days. No phones, no newspapers, no anything. And they treat you like kind of dickheads. They treat like fucking nobodies.
Yeah.
And you had to,
kowtow.
You had to, it's a great way. You had to you're getting a big break. And the video cameras. Back then, the video cameras on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So if you fuck up, I don't know if you're allowed to curse, but if you mess up, now you look like a dick. So you had to be on point 24/7. So you couldn't get caught, passing out, making love to yourself or anything crazy like that. You know what I mean? I had a friggin' thing wired up to me for 30 days. It's like, hey guys, can I go to the men's room and have privacy for a couple of seconds? And not like that. Just like who wants to be audio taped taking a Dugan?
Yeah.
Anyways, we're just ranting and raving right now because you talk about Wayne Newton, wrestling. I've lived a charmed life as far as I knew at an early age that I would never be a professional athlete because I was so small. I was only 4'11", 79 pounds. Yeah. My freshman in high school, I was 10 years old, 50 pounds. But I was a good athlete. So the coolest thing is, at an early age, I knew I was never going to be pros. So whenever I went to a championship game, it was in 10-year-old football or baseball, I went to win it. And the majority of times I threw a game-winning touchdown pass when I was 10 once my dad was the coach. Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that until no lie, during the pandemic, my mother sent me all these trophies and shit. And I was like, no shit. So Malden Medford is the big rivals. And in 1981, no shit, we did the Medford spread. Medford was 6-0. Malden was 6-0. It was our last game of the season. We won the game. And we did a trick play called the Medford spread.
Yeah.
And it's a hike to the quarterback. The quarterback throws to me on the wing back. And I throw to Jamie Winters down there. He catches a touchdown, first play of the game. I didn't get into it's a trick play. And we scored and we win 6-0. I have the newspaper article that I threw a game-winning touchdown pass in a fucking championship on the first play of the game. And Jamie Winters, who I see every year at the Mark Bavis 9/11 event down at Cape Cod, he goes, every year, he goes, dude, that was the only championship I've ever won in my life. I have 2 daughters. One's a dancer. She doesn't do competition. And my wife never played sports. And we were fucking 11.
Yeah.
So whenever I see him, he's like, my only championship. Meanwhile, I'm like, really? I have 6 co-ed softball championships. And that's, we just bust balls, but, fun shit. That's how my life has been. People might be like, this kid's fucking hasn't shut the fuck up for hours. But I have a blast talking about my old past because
that's why you're here.
But you know why I like talking about my old past? People go, do you like glory days? You like thinking back? I go, no way, man. When I was younger and playing these sports and focused, you know what it was, Donnie?
What's that?
It was just my
Donnie
parents.
T, my pal. How are you, my pal? Got a good one there in Russo. Hope that is well, Dave.
Johnny D, my dad.
D,
my dad is RoboCop. He's a champion. He taught me who I am. God damn.
Anybody, listen, let me just say, anybody that wants to send in some comments, send in some suggestions as what you would like to see on my show.
That guy said end the broadcast. That was a suggestion.
Yeah, no,
I was
anything.
fucking around.
Yeah, you better stop. Okay, as tough as you are, I can't do anything about it. But anyway, yeah,
I'm really good at rolling around men in tights.
When you were in Vegas, when I was out there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
What casino were you at? Was that the Trop?
Great question. So in 2004, when I got the big break, we were at the Hilton.
Yeah.
Which is the name? I can't remember. The name was changed, but it was the Hilton because it was the girl Paris Hilton was part of our show.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, we stayed in the Elvis Presley suite. It was $25,000 a night.
Yeah.
And it was right next to Barry Manilow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's.
No, I'm talking about when I came out there.
Oh.
And you were. I saw you.
I was at the Tropicana.
That's what I said.
So I just celebrated 20 years of performing at the Tropicana in Las Vegas, March 2003. Just passed. I just did it in, Jesus, what's before June?
I don't know. April's one of them.
I just did it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just did, and so I want to tell this to people out there. I've done for 20 years. I performed the Tropicana on the Strip in Las Vegas, and they do 14. Dude, they do 14 fucking shows. We do 14 shows a week, fuckers. We do an 8:30 show and 10:30 show, and a lot of times because I'm the Boston guy, they have me be the master of ceremonies.
Oh, really?
Because we know how to start off shows. In the 80s, Bostonians, the headliner used to be the host. So like Kevin Knox would be he'd be the host, Gav would be the host. Well, Gav always headlined, but they would have the Boston guys be the host. So since I've performed there in 20 years, this is what I think is the coolest thing ever for statistic.
Yeah.
I've gotten to perform 14 shows on the Strip in Las Vegas at the Tropicana with Boston comic legend Lenny Clark. 14 shows, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I learned in 14 fucking shows performing with a fucking champion like that in Vegas? Okay. The king of Boston comedy, Steve Sweeney.
Yeah.
14 shows. But beyond all that, okay, because I saw how Lenny prepared, I saw how Steve prepared. The godfather of Boston comedy, Don Gavin, I've probably done 3 weeks with him of 14 shows a week.
Yeah.
And I pride myself that I'm always doing a little tweak every show or improving everything. Yeah. And he does as well. And I know he complimented me on that. He goes, you know what? He goes, you improved your intro on me every week. Because I'm like, well, I forget that you've done a lot of shit, Don. You've done this, you've done that. I'm like, oh my God, he's done the Rogan podcast. Like, what that? You know what I mean? Bill Burr, you know.
Oh, Bill's, he's special.
Well, Gav's a champ. Gav's really been kind to me as far as we took a liking to each other. I love my Don Gavin stories. There's not many people listening right now, but if I told you a Don Gavin story, I think it's the best ever.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I've only told this story to probably nobody.
That's what I want. I want the backstories. I want, you know. So
the godfather of Boston comedy, Don Gavin. This is what I like about this. So I'm supposed to be opening him at the Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston. It's November 1999. Why do I know that? Because I can't work for him that night at the Comedy Stop, the Tropic, on that Friday night, because I'm being inducted. I'm a first-time ballot Hall of Famer. I became my high school's first ever state wrestling champion, and I won the league tournament, got MVP in the league, won the regional tournament, got MVP in the region, won the state tournament, got MVP in the state, like back to back to back. By the way, Google it. I think I might be one of the only people in the world that's ever got back to back to back MVP in these tournaments. Anyways, we're live. We can re-edit that later, but rewind because I know we're coming quick. So, what were we talking about before this?
I don't know, but I did.
I don't know either. Don's not paying attention. Come on, Don.
No, I'm paying attention. But you do jump.
I jump fast.
You are a jumper.
Oh yeah.
Life is good. That's what that says.
All right, so we'll go with the wrestling thing. I was trying to explain about.
No, you started talking about stories about Don Gavin.
Okay.
I want to hear.
All right, thank you.
That's
the story. Thank you. That's how you have to. When I jump off the fucking rails.
Okay,
all right.
You back on.
So the reason why I was a first-time ballot Hall of Famer, which was November '99, was because of all those awards I got for wrestling. I only wrestled 3 years in high school. My second year of wrestling, made the state finals. I know it sounds like I'm bragging, but I have to explain this to you. So I get to work with Don Gavin November '99 on the Friday, Saturday at Nick's Comedy Stop, the most prestigious comedy club back in the day for a young comic at that time. Even today, people think if you perform at Nick's Comedy Stop, it's very prestigious because people like Jay Leno, from the best of the best, have always performed it. Long story short, I have to cancel Friday night because I'm getting inducted in the Hall of Fame. So the next night, I go there and I do my stuff. I do my time up front and I bring the featured act on and I go to Don Gavin. Don Gavin goes, and I'm supposed to do 3 to 5 minutes in between bringing the headliner on. So Gav goes, do a minute. And I go to turn to him and say, well, the booker said do 3 to 5. Then I realized Comedy 101, the headliner's in charge. He's the godfather of Boston comedy. So I didn't even question anything. Dude, this is true shit. I go up there, I do 58 seconds. And I bring on Don Gavin. And Don Gavin goes, Dave Russo, did under a minute. He'll be working again in the Boston area. He was testing him.
I want to hear.
No, this moment, I'm getting it.
All right.
I'm getting it. So I'm sorry. I'm replaying the whole story back in 1999. It's 2024.
Go ahead.
It's fucking 24 years ago.
Go ahead.
So at the end of the show, he says to me, I talked to Gav. He goes, hey, man. He goes, you did a nice job tonight. I go, I'm impressed the fact you kept your time. I go, that was the first thing I learned in Boston College. Keep your time. Don't fuck up. Keep your time. Do it. So we're talking. He says, hey, man, how come you didn't? Why did you cancel last night? So I said, Don, I got inducted in my high school's Hall of Fame. And he goes, he's a sports guy.
Oh,
He was
really?
a teacher. He was a basketball coach.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he talked college basketball with Don Gabby. He's the best in the business. So he goes, get the fuck out of here. He goes, that's fantastic. He goes, I was just inducted in the Hall of Fame for Catholic Memorial. I go, congratulations. He goes, what high school are you? He goes, I said Malden. He goes, you motherfuckers beat us in the fucking state finals on the Boston Garden. And so, and I go, so he's now I'm getting inducted in the Hall of Fame of the team that beat his ass on the thing. He thinks we don't find out till later. I graduated Malden High School. Malden High School. I was in the Hall of Fame for Malden High School. He lost to Malden Catholic, so we goofed around. He said, I kind of held that against you for a little bit. I said, no, those are MC the Catholic. But he's been my mentor ever since. So yeah, Don Gavin. I talked to Don Gavin 2 days ago, and we laughed because
Nice guy.
Oh,
Nice guy.
listen, you know what? Fucking the best. And the funny thing is I talk to him about people that don't like me, and they're friends with him, and they tell him, and he laughs. He goes, yeah, I still like the guy, but I don't know why he doesn't like you. And we laugh because he doesn't know that I'll never tell you who those people are. And he'll never tell because we fucking grew up near the projects.
That's it.
And we'll punch you in the face.
Yeah, you got to keep your mouth shut. We learned that. What's that?
By the way, Johnny D used to always have coffee with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
He'd have coffee with my
What
dad.
else? There's somebody else just banged in here.
My dad's kicking ass, 80, 81.
Big G. I knew you'd be here, pal. How you doing?
Oh.
It's a lot better with somebody on my show than me trying to wing it alone. And I didn't know that I could see my comments the other night. Now I can see them. Now I learned how to do it, And this kid here is hilarious. You're going to come see him.
We're just, you know what it is? We're trying to get the word out that I know I'm a professional stand-up comedian, allegedly.
Yeah.
But I come from a sports background. So I'm an entertainer.
You're a street kid.
Yeah. And you know what? These people who are comedians that get offended by people being talented, they suck.
I don't like jealousy.
No. In our business, that's the whole thing. In the entertainment industry, people get jealous when you do well. You know who the hot cat kid is right now? This Matt Rife kid.
Who's
Google
Matt
this.
Rife?
You know, no, he's just some comedian. He's a
I thought you were
comedian.
going to say Matt Mission.
We love the bitch. Yeah. No, this kid Matt Rife right now. It's funny because you watch comedians and you figure out who's jealous and who's not jealous, right?
Yeah.
Like some people, growing up, you're like happy for people, but in the entertainment industry, you can figure like people like happy for you or they're like
To your face.
right. And you know what? Listen, we're all human. I get jealous. Jealous ain't the word. Envy is something. It's like, oh man, but I'm happy for people because everyone has their own little journey.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that other people that's why I talk to you about like a podcast. I go, well, I'm gonna have fun with the Sunday podcast, and people are gonna fucking give me shit. Oh fuck him, he's this and that. I go, I'm just having, and I don't care because,
I like doing my podcast live. People tell me I'm nuts to do it live because of the.
It's absolutely fucking nuts.
Profanity.
I don't want to. I wanted to
that.
work for Disney before I did this podcast. Disney will never hire me now.
No, that's it. You ruined it. You thought this was a
They
great
got man
opportunity.
boobs on the show.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're vain at all, and you look in this thing here, you won't be vain anymore.
A punch in the face.
Hey. My pal, do you know who?
De Niro.
Little De Niro for the gang.
That's all I got. Anyways, we've been on for a nice half hour. We've had some good stuff here.
Yeah, I want some good stories about other comics you've worked with, good and bad.
Okay.
I want good and
I'll tell you
bad.
what. I'm going to do two stories of people. I'm going to go on a rant right now on who I've worked with.
Yeah.
That have passed or not passed. So we're going to go with Stephen Wright, Mr. Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
Who did back-to-back sets on this night show with Johnny Carson.
Right.
When I met him, it was the first time I was ever headlining at Giggles Comedy Club in Saugus. No shit. First time I ever headlining.
Yeah.
And Stephen Wright comes up to me and says, hey Dave. And I had met him a few times. We'd done some fundraising together. He goes, hey, you mind if I do a set? I'm like, it's the first time I ever headlining at Giggles. And Stephen Wright's asking me if it's okay if he can do a set on the stage that he kind of built. That's just fucking the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it is.
He was working on a set for Letterman, and he's a fan of Mike and Lenny Clark and Hometown Club. And I just happened to be the headliner that night. And we've been friends ever since. As a matter of fact, you want to hear dirt, not a good dirt.
Yeah.
So Stephen Wright was on AAF, and he's like, people are like, who makes you laugh? And he's like, oh, Don Gavin, Lenny. He goes, that kid Dave Russo, fucking funny kid. Like, he gave me total props. So that's kind of like a cool. Yeah. That's a cool thing. It's a cool story, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Dirt. Want to hear dirt?
Sure.
Okay. So the first show I ever did, was with a guy by the name of Orny Adams. He was in the movie Comedian with Jerry Seinfeld. Okay. He was the protege that they kind of didn't give him a great light. They kind of showed him exactly how he is, basically. You know what I mean? So, kind of a donk burger. But, in our industry, I don't judge people because that's just how he is. Yeah. I like his hustle. I like his work ethic. But anyway, so I work with him. Not a lot of people care for this kid that much. And it's the first show I'm ever doing, so I would videotape my shows. So he kept asking, hey, do you mind videotaping my set? He was the middle act. Oh, sure. So I videotape his. By the time I get to the last show, my act, I videotape. It's the best show I've ever done. And I go home, I go, fuck, the battery died. I had all his shit, but not my shit. So 2 weeks later, my open mic night showcase, and he's hosting, as he always does on Thursday nights. And I go to set up my camera. He goes, hey, you. With the camera, I don't mind you taping yourself, but just don't get any of me. I'm like, so in other words, he didn't fucking remember that I was the guy that worked with him. Yeah, exactly. Wow. And my only thought, dude, I would never waste my fucking battery on you again. And I wanted to hit him with the fucking battery. But yeah, but you know what? But like I said, I guess I'm not a hater. I'm not like jealous of anybody.
I don't like.
I'm not envious. No, he's not very. Look,
it's wasted energy.
Donnie, he's not very well liked.
No, it's wasted energy. Hate. It's wasted energy.
I get a kick out of what makes people tick. Yeah. There's a couple people out there that at one point, when I was a 6-time Boston Comedy Co-ed softball champion, and they were on my team for 3 years back to back. Every time we met, hey champion, hey champion, hey champion. And then now the softball's over, they did a 180, and all of a sudden they don't remember who I am. Yeah. And they would be fucking losers. Yeah. I'm not gonna say names, but they know who they are. You know who you are. You're a piece of shit. They know who they are, Donnie.
I ain't saying nothing.
Donnie, they know who they are.
Everybody knows who they are.
Not everybody, just they know who they are.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I don't want to end on that. Calling somebody out a piece of shit. Who is it?
No, it's not.
Tune in next episode. We'll let you know.
Listen. When you first started out, you had to have certain highlights in your life where you say, wow, I can't believe I'm on this friggin' show with these guys. What kind of...
Was it a TV show thing?
I don't know if it was TV or just stage. You've worked with comics before. Which ones impressed you? Like, do you ever work with Robin Williams?
It's unfortunate. I was out in Las Vegas performing while Robin Williams was out there. But 2 comedians that were out there hung out with them but didn't invite me. Yeah. And you know who you 2 are.
I know who they are.
Fuck you. They're dickheads.
I think.
I know you know that. Anyways, but yeah, of course, a year or 2 later when I'm on my TV show, or when I get the TV show, I got to, hey, can you get us tickets for this? I'm sure, no problem. Yeah, you know who you are. Yeah. Anyways.
Hate's no good. Hate's no good.
Did I say hate?
No. I'm saying that hate is no good.
No, it's jealousy. It's like, why would you not? You're out there before. Robin Williams is out there. Yeah. I'm performing across the street from where you bring him and you don't invite me. You jealous piece of shit. Both of you. They don't want me.
I don't know who they are. I don't want to know. I don't.
Yeah, that guy. Maybe people will tune in. You know what? If you tune in the next episode, we'll let you know who those cocksuckers are. Fuck them. I can't curse?
A little bit, but...
I thought we was trying to start some controversy here. What's going on?
No, I don't want controversy. I got enough problems at my age.
You asked me about good experience. No. You asked me good experience. What I tell you?
Yeah.
And then you asked me about a bad experience. That's a bad experience for me. That's like the most backstabbing,
but when I
horrible experience.
When I mentioned Robert Williams, I was thinking good. I wasn't thinking bad.
Fucking horrible. The guy would have loved me. Nanu. Shuzbutt. He and I would have ADD'd together. Oh, I know. And those cocksuckers didn't invite me. Fuck that. I swear to God. I never say anything to those guys. jerkbags. I mean,
How about
what are they? I'm embarrassed them in front of Rob Williams. The guy was off the wall.
He was. He was tremendous.
You know who you are, by the way. Both of you guys know who you are.
Yeah. Take that.
No, why?
No,
Controversy.
because we're on my show.
Controversy.
No, I know, but you know.
Who do you think they are? Who do you think?
I don't have no clue, and I don't want to know. I don't.
I think I told you before the show.
No, you didn't. But I don't want to know.
Let's see if he knows. Let's check his eyes.
No,
Straight look.
no. All I know is since I started
Oh
going.
no, that's a different.
Let me finish this. Since I started going down to Giggles, okay, and I have to thank Mike.
Wait a minute, you're bringing. It's a different subject. Mike had nothing to do with that.
No, I'm
With
just
those
saying.
Vegas
No,
guys. Because Mike and Lenny would have invited me.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying.
Make sure that they know. It's
Hear
not
my
Mike and
whole.
Lenny.
Hear my whole thing. When I started going down to Giggles, and Mike Clark so graciously invited me to everything.
Right.
No matter what, he always invites me to go in there. You know, and I have met so many fantastic people, including Mike and Lenny.
Sure.
Okay, I have met such wonderful people there. And so not that I feel indebted, because that's not a good word. He wouldn't want me to be indebted, but I feel like I'm here for you. You ever need me 24/7. You call my number and I'm always there. I'm what they call a solid friend. You need me for anything, I'm there for you. So.
Right, but the two guys that I'm talking about have nothing to do with Mike and Lenny.
No,
As a matter of fact, Mike and Lenny aren't fans of those two people because it's come out that they who would ever hold back?
I love Mike and Lenny, and right. I know you weren't talking about them
because those guys would never hold back me meeting Robin Williams.
No.
But those two guys, if they ever stumble upon this, they know it, and they should be like, because now the guy's no longer with us.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, I probably would have documented. I probably would have had photos and stuff, and now they have nothing. Losers. Those guys are losers.
No, I understand. It's a certain look at. I have had episodes in my life where I've been hurt by people.
It's just
and
foolish.
You know something? When you're a younger guy, you carry it with you. But when you get like my age, you say,
you let it go.
Fuck all that.
I only brought up now.
I don't.
This should happen. This should happen. Well, Robin's been gone 9 years.
Yeah.
This happened probably in 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay, 15 years.
I think that's terrible for them not to bring you along.
Oh, they're horrible people, dude. They're so jealous and envious. I just always have to do that to them whenever I think of their names because it's one of those things where it's like, you're worried about me?
Yeah, like what were you thinking?
Like, first of all, number one, I always win when I want to win because we're champions.
Yeah.
And if I don't lose, I'm still a winner. Why do you want to compete with somebody and waste your energy with somebody who's I'll waste your energy. If you want to compete with me, I'm gonna suck it out of you.
Yeah, hate is
no good.
Terrible. It depletes you.
But that's one of the things in my business. I remember and by the way, you don't realize in this industry, I've been doing it over 25 years now.
Yeah.
We had this podcast. You said, I want honesty, you want truth. I never I don't retaliate. I only realized this shit now. I'm like, wow, what a fucking piece of shit those guys were.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're calling me up for work.
Yeah.
And they have their own thing going on. They don't want to share.
See, again, let me just say this, guys.
You know what I mean?
You see why now I always do my shows live.
Yeah.
Almost always. Except when I do it at a different studio. I do them live because if I'm watching something, I want to see the real deal. I want to see the blood and guts. I want to see the errors, you know? That's
what the non-tan in my arm. That's an error.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I said, "What the fuck? How can you come on my show with non-tan arms?"
Jesus, security. No, you know what? In the majority of my entertainment, it's hey Don, it's dang back maggot.
Dang back at it. Who said that? Hey Donnie, dang back. Oh, dang.
So we don't have any real dirt on anyone. I can just say that
some good stuff.
Well,
you got plenty of good stuff.
What
show have you done where they stood up and didn't want to sit back down?
Okay, well the show was over. People were leaving, so they were standing up.
Yeah,
I have to pull the laugh out. What was it? All right, shows that I dug.
I laugh at your shit all the time.
All right, April 11, 2003, my birthday. I got a standing ovation opening up for Sinbad at the Gilda Radner Foundation, Davenport, Iowa. Why do I think it's special? Because I was the one college comedian chosen throughout the country to perform for Gilda Radner. Somebody had asked who my favorite SNL character was once, and I said, I like Gilda Radner because I like Willy Wonka, and that was her husband. I mean, that was her, yeah. So So I got to. So that's a cool thing in 2003.
Very
Over
cool.
Sinbad.
Very
And the coolest thing is that I was supposed to be the featured act because I was the winner of the competition. And the local DJ said, "This kid's only been doing comedy 3 or 4 or 5 years, and he's gonna be the feature. I've been doing comedy 15 years,
Yeah.
and I'm the local guy. Why he should be opening for me?" So the story is, and it's the truth. I got a standing ovation, and when I came off stage, Sinbad put his arm around me.
He's a cool guy.
Super cool. He was one of the most fun guys I ever worked with.
He was on my son's
He
show.
took me out to dinner.
He was on my son's
He took
show.
me and the whole crew to dinner that night. By the way,
Cool guy.
he was the best. But he put his arm around
Yeah,
me.
my son loved him.
I love to hear that because he was awesome. That's why I'm telling the story. He's like,
Oh, that's
he put his arm around me.
People want to hear that. People
Well,
don't know.
well, this is the whole thing that you don't understand. This is the Boston thing right now.
Yeah, these
This
are
is-
audience people. That's like me.
No,
I'm
but
an
this is what-
audience.
you have to
guy.
understand this. This is Boston right now. So I was supposed to be the featured act. I'm the middle guy. I'm not the opening act. I'm not the warm-up guy. I'm the featured act. That's what I got hired to do. And they came to me and said, "Hey, man, we're going to have you go first, not feature."
Oh, okay.
And so I was always taught from Don Gavin, Lenny Clark, Mike Clark. They go, "Hey, I go, okay, same money?"
I got to do
Hey.
a quick shout out. Daniel, how you doing, buddy?
Fuck that one up.
Well, I had no. Oh, you were in the middle of a
The
thing.
middle story.
Oh no. Well,
I finally got my fucking. I finally remember what the hell I was talking about. And you
And-
go,
and
and,
I
you go,
finally got
and you go,
it.
fucking
hey,
Danny.
Dan, you get
You
me
fucking,
in
we've been on
trouble.
for 45 minutes. Did you tune in now, you fucker?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I forget what I was talking
Don't say you forget, you fucking
about. I
liar.
forget now, you cocksucker.
No, sir. Go ahead.
What the hell were we talking about?
You were talking.
I forget what we were talking about. I don't know. Fucking ask him. You shell him in the middle of the conversation. See
Dan,
if he knows.
Okay, what if he's sitting?
He's a-
LOL. He's laughing.
Hey, that's, you know what? Laughter
What the
is
fuck?
a,
What were we talking about? Oh,
laughter is the best.
Oh, so Davenport, this is the Boston thing. So I'm Davenport, Iowa. Boston kid, Davenport, Iowa. Gilda Radner Foundation. I'm the guy that won I was the college comedian
Yeah.
that they chose to be the feature performer. I get that they go, "You're not featuring, you're opening." Now, high maintenance people be like, "What do you mean? I'm the feature." I go, "All right." This is the line from Boston. They teach us. They go, "Same money." And they go, and the guy goes, "Yeah, okay, I'll open."
Is that what you
So,
said?
yeah, exactly. That's Don Gavin. Same money. Okay, I get to open. No, whatever. Like if you're hired to feature, and you're opening, and they're gonna pay you opener money. No. I was hired to feature. You pay me feature money. But if they say, "Hey, we want you to open," and still pay you feature money, score
Yeah, it's
in
less
and
live.
out, in and out. So I go, "Okay, no problem." But I did it like this. I wasn't like same. I was like same money, yeah. And they was like, "Oh yeah, bro, what do you need?" Smiling. So I get a standing ovation. So I go upstairs, and by the way, I have to go on record. I won the Boston Comedy Festival. When you win I won the inaugural Boston Comedy Festival, and back then, when you were in the comedy, you would pick out of a hat to see who drew what number.
Yeah.
In the quarterfinals, I picked out of a hat, I drew number 1. In the semifinals, I drew out of a hat, number 1. In the finals, I drew out of a hat, number 1. And I won the fucking thing. All right. So now that's in 2000. True story. Google all this shit. I'm a professional champion. So then now go to 2003. I'm opening for Sinbad. They go, "You have to open." That's my forte.
Yeah.
I get a standing ovation. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because now I go upstairs. Sinbad puts his arm around me. Now I've been a fan of Sinbad our whole life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's
So,
always been-
always been. So I'm like, Sinbad. He's like, "Hey man," he goes, "Russo, I want you to watch this guy. He's not doing very well." I go, "He'll get him." He goes, No, he's not. No, I told him, "You Boston guys, you fucking Boston guys, bring it. You
Yeah.
Boston guys." You know, he wanted to be the open. He was supposed to be the feature. He said, "Hey, this guy's going to do Comedy 5." I go, "Hey, the kid's from Boston. You might want to play." They picked him. So Sinbad was on my go, "Look at him. He's eating." He was laughing at him, and he was the biggest fan of me and Boston comedy. And that's
Boston's
what I remembered
comics
about.
are pretty popular
Yeah.
throughout the country.
But he just said, I kept telling the guy,
Yeah.
"No, you don't want to play Boston comedians. They bring it. Boston comedians bring it. They don't play." That's all I remember from Sinbad going, "You Boston comedians bring it. You Boston guys bring it." And I had the most respect for him because he's not from Boston.
Yeah.
And nobody fucking likes us.
What's he from? Detroit or something?
He's, I want to say, yes, he's from somewhere in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I want to
think
say
it was
maybe
Detroit.
Chicago, Illinois, maybe. But anyways, Sinbad's a champion, and I hope he's alive. And that's all I know. Boston, go Miami Heat, and Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know what he's talking about there, but
Who said that?
dang maggot.
Oh,
Maggot. All right.
Boston. Oh, thumbs down. Go Miami Heat. Ella. Dan,
You're
I gotta
you're
tell
about
you the
3
truth.
weeks behind, pal.
I don't give a shit about who wins anything anymore.
Unless Russo's winning a 7th
Yeah, exactly.
Boston Comedy Co-ed softball.
And if Boston's in it, I'm in it. That's it. I'm in it to win it.
All right. Last thing. Let me plug we're out of here. Let me plug what I got.
Go ahead.
It's 4th of July weekend. Cape Cod
Okay.
every Monday night, and Focino Vineyard every Friday night and Saturday night.
Tell them where it's at.
Focino Vineyard, Taste of Italy, 1 hour north of Boston, next to Nashua
Yeah.
in Hollis. Sold out shows. Google DaveRusso.net. I always love coming on and stuff with Donnie T. Look, we figured it out. We were like it before, and people were like, "Hey, why is porn coming up?" We're like, "What?" And only toward the end, I got a little angry a little bit, and I started. But that was like, now people want to know who that is.
Now that you've broken all my rules.
Well, you're not allowed
let
to
me
curse
finish. Let me finish.
I got no
Hold
email
on,
listing of
hold
any
on.
rules.
Now that I'm not a rule kind of guy, as you know. Now that you've broken all my rules, I want you to tell the joke about the soap.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
this.
One of the first shows I ever wrote, 1999, was about cursing. Like, I wasn't allowed to curse when I was growing. Like, my mother would wash my mouth out with soap. And a lot of you people's mothers would do it, but like, honestly, you guys were lucky. Your mom would probably grab like a new bar.
Yeah.
My mom was poor, fucking lazy, and was like thrifty. She'd grab it right from the shower, like a used bar. Me and my little brother were like, no, not the same bar of soap that washes Dad's ass and his balls. No. And then I do a little pantomime. Curly Q. Anyway, these are just jokes I do. One of the first jokes I ever wrote, which the Farrelly brothers did on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, was if a guy invented the bra. Like, if I invented the bra, I would have graded it differently, because like a D would have been an A. Yeah, and a C would have been an A. All right. A B still would have been a B.
Yeah.
But if I invented the bra, I never would have waited 50 years to move that hook from the back of it to the front of it. I never would have had hooks, Velcro.
That's Velcro for sure.
Yeah. Jokes, we write jokes all the time as comedians. Like, when I was in Vegas, I wrote a joke. It wrote itself. I'm in the Tropicana where I work. Okay, I work here for 20 years. Like, you got to keep your nose clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course. I know people.
For the first, listen, for 20 years, I've never been hit on by a prostitute. A prostitute fucking hits on me and goes, and it was free. I said, do I want company? In my head, I'm like, company. It took me time to tell you, company, like Three's Company. What? And then I realized she's a prostitute. I go, no, I'm you know what I mean? And like 2 seconds later, I started talking to another guy, and for like a split second, I
got jealous.
I got jealous. I did. I'm like, what the hell? You gave me no time to react to this. There's cameras. I work here. All I want is a hug.
Yeah.
I'm all good with that. I'm just a hypochondriac. The other thing is this, because you're always writing jokes every day. We'll try them on this one. So I'm a mini local celebrity in my hometown, and pot's legal.
Yeah.
Fucking legit. You know what I mean? And so in my hometown, they have a dispensary. So I went there to buy a gift, a naughty farty party for a gift. But I got recognized buying pot in the dispensary. And I got a little bit embarrassed for like a split second.
Yeah.
And I felt like that same embarrassment. Like, remember back in the 90s when you'd rent like a porno movie and you come out of that drape?
I never did.
And you'd see somebody that recognized
Yeah.
it. Hey, man.
Yeah.
You've got good taste.
Yeah. You got to go hide around the corner. What's that one like?
I don't know. All I know is that we're on here almost 50 minutes. It's a headlining set in any country.
Well, let me say this, okay?
Yeah.
This is my good buddy. I love
you too, although I still think we should see other people. Come on.
Well, of course, my Italian stallion friend here, and this was a bonding episode for us as well because we're really getting to know each other better. But I'll say one thing.
Patience.
This is very important. I asked him if he wanted to be on my podcast. This was weeks ago, and immediately he said yes, just like Lenny did. Immediately. So people that are trying to help you, help them. Because why would I do it? I mean, I don't get paid. He doesn't get paid. I do it mostly for him and for me to stay relevant in my life. You know what I mean?
How old are you?
70.
Get out.
Seven.
Really? 77?
Yeah.
I thought you were like 76.
I used to
You
be.
look really good.
I used to be.
Good fucking age. We're gonna go dry hump
You
after
know,
this to see if
it's
it
all
works.
about laughter, guys. It's all about laughter. And
I thought controversy too. I was like, those guys. Don't you want to know who those guys are? That you think they're nice? They're not.
I don't know who they are.
You know.
I might know them.
You know them, but you don't know who I'm talking about.
No.
You know
exactly.
one of who I'm talking about.
No, I know the ones that I love.
Maybe
Those are the
one.
ones I talk about. And I look.
I wouldn't talk about anyone else.
Look at all these comments. What the hell?
Same guy. Obviously.
Yeah, I know, but you
Obviously,
know something?
He's also watching. Dang gammit, back at it.
You look early 50s, both of you. Hey, that's good.
Fuck
Thank
off,
you.
man.
He
He's
is.
27.
I'm not.
I am. You fucking.
I'm 27 years older. Hey,
Hey,
but I'll
back
take
at
the
it.
compliment.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey,
Appreciate
Danny,
that. Yeah, I'll be back.
I hope you're doing well, buddy. I miss you. I'll be back out in Vegas probably around December or January, and I'm going to stay for 4
Well, I
months.
want to invite you. I want to invite you to any one of my shows that I want. To
Absolutely. I'm dying
I'll
to
get
go.
you. I'll get you and a friend a ticket. You come up to the show.
Excellent.
If you want a third ticket, I have to charge you for 3 people. I'm trying to be funny.
God bless. Hey, guys, I love you. It's over and out for Donnie T and Dave
Russo.
Russo.
On the road.
Here you go. Thumbs up. Come on. All right, we're done.
If it's precious and broadcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Good,
doing.
Good.
What does it say in broadcast?
No, that's voice option. Just say end broadcast.
Oh, there you go.
One more time, just like a 77-year-old.